So our first question with reference to Article 20 of the Constitution of India. Consider the following statement. So Article 20. So both civil and criminal laws cannot be applied retrospectively. So it is wrong. So Article 20 not tells both civil and criminal laws can be applied. So cannot be not. Okay. So can be applied retrospectively. Second, the protection against incrimination extends to both criminal and civil proceeding. So, protection against incrimination extends to both criminal and civil proceedings. So, it's not correct. So, Article 20 not tells it's. So, both are wrong. Neither 1 and 2 are correct. So, this is the option answer. Now, explanation it is. So Article 20 dealing with protection in respect of conviction of offence has three provision. Number no expect action. No, sorry, no ex post facto law. No person shall be convicted any offence except for violation of a law in force at the time of commission of the act. Second, subjected to a penalty greater than that prescribed by law, though in the force at the time of the commission. An ex post facto law is one that imposes penalties retrospectively, that is, upon act already done, or which increases the penalties for such acts. This limitation is imposed only on criminal law and not on civil laws or tax law. In other words, the civil liability or tax can be imposed retrospectively. Statement 1 is not correct. No self-incrimination. No person accused to any offence shall be compelled to be a witness against himself. The protection against self-incrimination extends to both oral evidence and documentary evidence. Further, it extends only to criminal proceedings, not to civil proceedings, and or proceedings which are not of criminal nature. Statement 2 is not correct. No person accused to of any offence shall be compelled to be witnessed against himself. The protection against self-incrimination extends to both oral evidence and documentary evidence. Further, it extends only to criminal proceedings, not civil proceeding. No double jeopardy. No person shall be prosecuted or punished for the same offence more than once. The protection against double jeopardy is available only in proceedings before a court of law or a judicial tribunal. In other words, it is not applicable in proceedings before department or administrative authorities, as they are not of judicial nature. Next, with reference to constitutionalism, which of the following statements is most appropriate? With reference to constitutionalism, which statement is most appropriate? So it donates it is an ideology which promotes supremacy of a written constitution. It is not correct. It means constitution is necessary in a democratic country. Not correct. Third, It denotes the principle that the government derives its authority from a body of fundamental law and is limited by it. So it denotes the principle that the government derives its authority from a body of fundamental law and is limited by it. So see the correct answer. D. It means that constitution must provide certain inalienable certain inalienable rights to the citizens. With reference to constitutionalism, which of the following statements is most appropriate? It is an ideology which promotes supremacy of written constitution. It means it means the constitution is necessary in a democratic country, not correct. And C is the correct. It denotes the principle that the government derives its authority from a body or of a fundamental law and is limited by it. So next question. So why I want to sin its actual of discussion. Here you can see the constitutionalism is a concept which means that government derives its authority from a fundamental body of law and is legally limited in its powers with the same. It does not have any relation to written or unwritten constitution or the political system of a country. So which means that so constitutionalism, which means the government derives its authority from a fundamental body of law and legally limited its powers by the same. It does not have any relation to written or unwritten constitution or the political system of a country. Next question: which of the following, with respect to the right jurisdiction, consider the following statements. With respect to right jurisdiction, so option the right of habeas corpus cannot be issued against the private individual, not correct. And second, the right of prohibition is available only against the judicial bodies, not correct. And third, the right of quo warranto can be sought even by a non-aggressive person, so it's correct. The right of quo warranto can be sought even by a non-aggressive person. So देखिए यहाँ पर statement 1 is not correct. The right habeas corpus can be issued against both private authorities as well as private individual, public authorities and private individual. So वहाँ पर दिया था सिर्फ private and individual बस पावर रहेगा, right issue कर सकता है. जहाँ पर the right on the other hand it is not issued where detention is lawful. B. The proceedings for concept of a legislature or a court. The detention by a competent court. Detention is outside the jurisdiction of the court. And statement 2 is not correct. The right of prohibition can be issued only. The right of prohibition can be issued only against judicial and quasi-judicial, not only judicial. So it is only against judicial and quasi-judicial authorities. It is not available against administrative authorities. So it is not against the administrative authorities or legislative bodies or the private individual or bodies. And statement 3, is correct. Unlike the four rights, the rights is of quarantine can be sought by any interested person and not necessarily by the aggrieved person. So the right can be issued only in a case of substantive public offense of a permanent character created by a statute or by a constitution. It cannot be issued in case of ministerial office or private office. So here for the unlike the other four rights, the right of warrant can be sought by any interested person or not and not necessarily to be by the aggrieved person. The right can be issued only in case of a substantive public offense of a permanent character created by a statute or by the constitution. It cannot be issued in case of a ministerial office. Mandamus, the right of mandamus cannot be issued against a private individual or body to enforce departmental instruction that does not possess statutory force, and the duty is a discriminatory or not mandatory and not mandatory to enforce a constitutional contractual obligation against the president of India or the state governor. So here for the mandamus, the right of mandamus cannot be issued against a private individual or body to enforce departmental instruction that does not possess statutory forces when the duty is discriminatory not and not mandatory to enforce the constitutional obligation against the president of India or the state and not mandatory to enforce contractual obligation to and against the president of India or the state governor against chief justice of high court and acting judicial capacity. Statutory. Till recently, the right of statutory could be issued only against judicial and quasi-judicial authorities and not against administrative authorities. However, in 1991, the Supreme Court ruled that statutory can be issued against administrative authorities affecting rights of individual and like prohibition statutory is also not available against legislative bodies and private individuals or bodies. Okay, so thank you.